I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to hand it over to Elliot. Now, he has been, you heard the story, he has been part of Pony Express since right at the beginning, and because he has more than 7,000 hours probably by now. 6,000, right. Only 6,000 hours of experience as a speaker, of being on stage. It was so easy always for me to hide behind him. But you know what, I feel if you run a business and you have a business partner, it's the most powerful thing in the world, because he's the one kicking your ass and really pushing you forward. Because I know it's tough on your own. And he started out being my mentor, my business strategist, and friend, shocking as well. We became really good friends over the years. Now, I don't think Pony Express would be where it is. Definitely wouldn't be without him, because I was scared of money. At the beginning, I couldn't even charge people a single pound. Trust me, it would kill me. And you know, after I got fired from my job, he was the one saying, "What are you doing? Applying for jobs you don't actually want?" And then we started commercializing Pony Express. Now, let's hope he will have some really good fuck-ups to share with you. There will be 15 minutes now with Mr. Elliot Kay.
All right, can you hear me at the back?
Yes.
Good, thank you. So, just so I get an understanding, who here runs their own business? Raise your hands. A few of you. Who here is thinking about running a business? Who here will not put the hand up whatever I do? There's always a few at the back, especially Nick. Thanks, Nick. Good. So my name's Elliot Kay. As you heard, I'm the commercial director of Pony Express. I'm also one of the trainers, and I also run my own business, which is a strategy business focusing on coaches, speakers, consultants, and trainers, really helping them grow their business commercially so they can go out there and make an impact in this world. And how many of you agree we need a lot of great leaders in this world? Put your hands up. I almost went, and I never do this, raise your hand and go, "Aye!" But I never do that. I couldn't give a shit about Tony Robbins' style. For some reason, I wanted to do that. So for the sake of it, go there. Put your hand and go, "Aye!" Aye. Good, thank you. Just for appeasing me. So I'm going to tell you a couple of stories of messing up on stage. There was one, so I hope you enjoyed that. So I'm just going to tell you two. One of them goes back from when I was really young, and I was 16, and I was thinner than this and better looking. And this way I go, "No, it's okay, Elliot, you're really good looking." Okay. And what happened was I was doing Grease. Everybody know Grease here? Yeah? Know Grease? Does anyone know the scene where they pull their pants down? Anyone know that scene? Who's never seen Grease?
We are too young to know it.
You're too young. I don't know. You've had a rough life, Michael. Okay. And so there's me doing Grease. And I was the blonde guy, Roger, the mooner, basically. And I had this fight on stage. And you know, with the aerial, if you remember Grease, he fights with the guys. And so on stage in Kingsbury High School, North London. Who's from North London? Awesome. Who here is from West London? No one. Oh, one. West London. You know West London?
It's Northwest.
Ah, doesn't count. It doesn't count. And anyway, so it's Kingsbury High School. It's the last night. It's Saturday. It's the most sold out night. I'm 16. All my insecurities. I've just about hit puberty. It's terrible, right? And I have the scene, obviously, to have the fight, and then they throw the antenna to the front of the stage, and I have to go to the stage, pick it up, and say, "Oh shit!" Right? That was my line. That was my thing. In boxers, in boxer shorts, and plus I had to wear period boxer shorts. Now, if anybody knows anything about period boxer shorts from Grease time, I know Steve knows them really well because he still wears them, don't you, Steve? And they're kind of long boxer shorts, and they don't have a button, right? Right, you're getting where this is going. So every night up until Saturday, I had a spare pair of boxers under the boxers, right? It's the right thing to do. Except on Saturday, I arrived there, had my bag all packed, I am packing, I'm getting ready, getting into character, and then I'm like, shit, no boxers for the boxers. Fuck, it'll be okay, it'll be okay. Mistake number one, never think it's going to be okay, right? So we do the matinee, and the matinee was okay, thank God, because lots of kids, lots of things. That's fine, that went all right. I'm thinking, yeah, I've got this, right? I'm all cocky, I'm cool. Comes the evening, everyone's there, like the local government, you name it. Anyone important in school, including the girl I fancied, everybody that mattered was there. So anyway, get into the fight, we're in a fight scene, And then they grab it and they throw it to the front of the stage. And so I'm walking to the front, my heart's going. And I bend over to pick up. And you know, men will know this, when you just feel a bit of air come through. And you're thinking, fuck. And I think, what do I do? This is like 1,000 people in the... I think, shit, what do I do? And I'm thinking, it'll be all right. Mistake number 2. You cannot write this, and thank God there was no social media back then. I'll give you a hint of when I went to frickin' school, and it's like, it was literally like, it'll be okay, it'll close over it, it'll close over it. And literally, as I stand up, it went, doink. And I'm standing there on stage with my tickle tackle hanging out in front of 1,000 people. And I'm thinking, fuck. Where do I go with this? And to make things worse, some woman's like, what a whopper! And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So I picked up the antenna. Can you remember what my line was? Oh shit, and I've never meant that word in my life. I was just like, oh shit! And I walked up, everybody got standing over, everybody like, whoa! And I just like, fucking hell. Anyway, that's number 1. Was that enough to put anyone off going on stage? And thank God there was no social media back then. Can you imagine what would happen? Hashtag Elliot's cock, Twitter, just like madness. Thank God it didn't exist. So thank you, God, for that. Thank you for making me born back in the 1990s, of course. Okay, good. Second story is I used to run my own seminars. I still do, but it's called Power to Succeed. And I used to tell this story about Bill. And Bill was this old guy, and he used to tighten screws, and he didn't feel very important. And the moral of the story was that if he didn't tighten screws, everything would fall apart. That's the moral of the story. So I was doing my Power to Succeed, and it's a real tense moment. Imagine you're real on this tense moment. I'm telling this story, and I'm about to get to the punchline, right? And I'm standing there. There's 150 people in the room. It's really quiet. Everyone's listening, really hanging on every word. I had really cool AV, really great lights. I was like, yeah, I've got this. This is cool. And I'm in state, and I'm like, I'm getting them, and I'm mesmerizing, so I think. And I'm like, yeah. And then the line was, Bill was one of the best tighteners of screws, that's the line, ever. He beats machines. He just stayed on because his ability to tighten screws was second to none. And then instead, and I've done it. I've done that story. I haven't done it for a while. I did it hundreds of times, except this time, full room. Everyone's captivated. And I went, and Bill, he's the best screw around. And I don't quite clock what I've said yet. To make things worse, I say it again. And so Bill, he's the best screw around. And everybody starts laughing because I've said it again. And to make things worse, what I didn't realize is I actually went like this. And he's the best screw around. Everyone's like cracking up. And I've never broken state until that point. I've always managed to hold. At that point, I'm just like... and then the whole crowd is laughing with me. And I just had to let it go. I just had to really let go of that moment and go... And I actually went, I have never broken state before. Do you remember that, Beatrix? Do you remember? Right, because Beatrix was there a while ago. And I was just like, and I just had to stop, compose myself. And then we had to literally, you know when you put the lights up, change state, put it back down. And then third time lucky, I didn't do that again. And good old Bill got the end of the story, as you heard. And so that's the second kind of smack up story that I did. How am I doing for time? I got more time? Oh, wow, I'm mega fast. So I'm going to tell you another story, a third one. I have plenty. You know, when you've done 6,000 hours of public speaking, you've got plenty of cock-ups, right? Because if you don't, you're either playing too safe or you're not playing a big game, okay? But this is actually, how many of you pitched for funding here? I mean, you pitched for jobs, I heard. Does anyone pitch for funding, to raise funding? Okay, well, I hope you all get there at some point. So I was doing this, I was raising some funding. And actually, it wasn't for me, but I was the one pitching. And I'd practiced it and practiced it and practiced it. And it was brilliant, seamless, even if I say so myself. And I got in there and, you know, it's a bit like Dragon's Den. There was a panel there. And I walked in and I stood there, did my kind of I'm ready to go because I'd rehearsed it so many times. And I delivered it, and I was like, look, here's the business model. Here's how much we're looking for. Here's what we're looking for. Here's what we're going to invest. Here's how we're going to do it. Fantastic. And there were like loads of questions. And then one of the guys, the dragons, goes like this. I have a question. I was like, yes. There's a theme here. I just realized as I was telling the story, I was like, he goes, I would have loved to invest it in you or the product, but your fly was undone. And all I could look at is your crutch. So I didn't really hear your pitch, so I'm out. And I was like, what is going on with me and my zip down, right? So I didn't actually get the invest, because then the moment he said that, that's all they thought about. And then I had to go, huh?
Who wants to be seen?
Clearly, it's crying to be shown. Anyway, she just said it wants to be seen. So when I actually, because I was telling the story, as I was sitting, I was like, just checking everything's in place, right? So that was it. And I actually lost the opportunity, and I lost it for someone else because my zip was undone. But we get up, we dust ourselves off, and we keep going. So those are my 3 stories of messing up or fucking up on stage, because we're allowed to swear. I don't swear very often on stage. But, you know, whatever picture you have, my tickle tackle, or, you know, whatever you live going for, Bill, poor old Bill, and me going like, screwing. There's a theme. I don't know why it's all around that area, but there we go. So those are my 3 stories of messing up on stage. Do you enjoy them? Yeah. And that's me. Thank you.